Hi again guys, as the title says, I'm going to have a go at dyeing this white, strong and flexible plastic from Shapeways puzzle that I've got. The reason I'm doing this, I've just bought a few new puzzles from Shapeways. Most of you are probably aware that Shapeways have recently dramatically increased the prices of all their twisty puzzles, basically beyond reach, and I've actually bought a few new puzzles before the price rise, just to get a few that I really wanted. It's not good for the puzzling community at the moment, the prices that they've raised them to, but they are a business, they're going to make a profit, but it's quite disappointing for us. So yeah, basically I spent every penny I could afford on a few new Shapeways puzzles that haven't arrived yet, but they're on the way. I needed to get them as cheap as I could to be able to afford the few that I've got coming. So I've got them in unpolished, white, strong and flexible, but I want to dye them. Regular viewers of mine will know that I always like my puzzles in black. I've got this and one other one that are currently white, but the reason for that was it was bought when we had a sale on white, strong and flexible, so I got them in white when they were cheaper than they would normally be. However, as you can probably see, the whiteness has kind of faded over time. It's gone a bit kind of off-white, and there's a few sort of dirty, grubby marks that have been introduced by me playing with it and solving it. So I thought, well, I'm going to dye all the others anyway, so I thought I might as well dye the two white ones I've got as well. So I've got some new stickers for it from Oliver's Stickers, so that once it's dyed I can re-sticker it. So if I can get the old stickers off. There we go. Oh, do it and dye it. I thought yeah, look at that. That's you can see how white it was. I don't know how well I showed up on camera. I can't really see it in the view screen, but there's a definite big difference between underneath the sticker and around the sticker on the outside. It's just picked up dirt sitting on the shelves a lot of the time, to be honest. It's only been solved probably, I don't know, a dozen times maybe. So it's not like it gets played with all the time to get that dirty, but so yeah, I think it's definitely going to be better if it's dyed black. Hopefully I managed to dye it reasonably well. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't, of course. I mean, it's not like you can. It might not look very nice if I don't get this done well, but it's not like the puzzle won't function. You know, the puzzle will still work as intended. So it just won't look quite as good if I don't do a very good job of it as well. I've done a bit of research and sort of like hopefully got the ingredients and the method that I need to do, and I'm gonna hopefully film it as well as I do it. Anyway, this de-stickering is taking a little bit longer than I intended. A little bit harder to get off. They're fine once they're started, but once getting them started is a bit trickier than I anticipated. So I'll speed this up in the disassembly and I'll get back to you once I'm doing the actual dyeing process. Okay then, so welcome to my kitchen. First of all, please be aware, I know I haven't got the cleanest kitchen in the world. What can I say, I'm a single man with that works long hours and has a couple of time consuming hobbies, so yeah, housework isn't always a priority to me. So, first of all, I've got a pot of water. It's a cheap old stock pot that I'm using here, so I'm just going to bring this water to the boil. Also got a bottle of white vinegar. The acid in this apparently is good for, sorry, I'm just getting my measuring stuff. It helps the nylon absorb the dye apparently. So I've seen people use 1 cup, as the Americans call it, of white vinegar in this, so that's what I'm going to do. So one cup of white vinegar added to the water. Get that heated up and bring it to the boil. I need to get my dye. So I'm using powdered wheat dye. I'm using powdered rather than the liquid version. I've heard that the liquid version isn't as good. And to be honest, I'm just going to put the full packet in. I've heard people using 2 or 3 packets. But we'll see how this goes. I've only actually got 1 packet at the moment, but if it doesn't make it dark enough, I can always dye it again afterwards. It's not like I'm going to make it too black, is it? So let's just... I'm actually quite nervous about this. I've never dyed these before. I know I'm not going to break them or anything, but yeah, so let's dump that in there. Ready. I've got an old wooden spoon that I'm going to use. Obviously not going to be used for as a cooking implement again after this, and this pot's not going to be used for cooking afterwards either. Now I've also heard that putting some salt in there can aid. So here I have just regular table salt. I'm just going to put about a tablespoonful in there. Looks like a delicious recipe so far, doesn't it? So okay, it actually looks purple in there at the moment. Okay, hopefully it will all kind of congregate together, the different colours once it's boiled. So I'll leave that on the simmer for now, bring it to the boil and show you some more once that's boiling. Oh, then, so as you can see, it's boiling away now. So time to dump in the parts. Here we go. I take it on a purplish tinge immediately. I don't know why I'm being careful with this. It's not like it's going one at a time, is it? You can probably see I've set out some newspaper so that hopefully I don't get any dye on my surfaces here in the kitchen. I don't think the landlord would be too impressed if I did. I've got black dye all over those, so I'm going to be as careful as I can. Yeah, I think I've probably got a bit too much liquid in there actually, because really you just want to have it covered, I think. But of course they float to the surface, so they're going to need regular stirrings, I think. So I've heard that it's about an hour that you need to boil these for, so I'm just going to bring them back to a simmer again. And yeah, you can see they're taking quite a lot of colour straight away, but yeah, at the moment it looks kind of purplish in colour, but yeah, I'm sure that'll change as it cooks for longer. So I'll leave that simmering away for an hour on a low heat and come back to it periodically, just stirring obviously. You don't want these getting dyed too much on one side, obviously, so I'll be coming back every couple of minutes to give that a stir, I think. And there, you'll see a bit more a bit later. Alright, so I'm actually only a few minutes into the process now. I've been back to stir it a couple of times and you can actually see, hang on, I'm just turning my light off. Yeah, you can see better now. It's actually turning a lot better black already. So yeah, this looks like it's going to work just fine. I intend to save this dye, by the way, for my other puddles. I don't know whether I'm going to need to buy more packets. I probably will have to get 1 or 2 for the other puddles. I might have to order them today, but yeah, that one's still quite purple tinge to it. But yeah, as I said, I'm only a few minutes into the hour I intend to do it. Oh my god, I've spilled dye on my cooker. Need to get rid of that. Yeah, stained it already. Oh well. Not a lot I can do about it really while it's hot. Just see if I can reach it for a moment. I've got most of it. Hence why the wives of some puzzlers refuse to let them loose with dye in the kitchen. But yes, it's looking good so far, so fingers crossed it's all going to work out as intended. Alright, excuse the background noise, I've got the Grand Prix on in the background, but I just wanted to, I'm about halfway through the cooking time now, and I just want to show you what they look like now. I don't know how well these are going to show up on camera. You can probably hopefully see that that's a really nice deep black colour now. The dye that comes down is still a kind of purpley colour, but the pieces do look a nice kind of deep black colour now. I do wonder if half an hour would actually have been long enough, but I can't imagine it's going to hurt to keep doing them for the full hour. But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be quite nicely successful this, so I'm happy with it so far. I mean, obviously they're going to look a bit different once they've dried out a bit, but they always kind of fade as they dry. But yeah, right now I think I'm going to get a good result. So yeah, I'll be back in about another half an hour. Alright, so it's been an hour now, so hopefully these are finished. So I'm being careful with the lid here. I have actually managed to spill a couple of drops down the front of my surface here, so that's not going to make me popular with my landlord. So I've got this little old spoon here for digging the pieces out. Put in this old sieve, of course. And yeah, right now they do look extremely black. As I said, I am trying to save this dye, which is why I'm taking them out with a spoon rather than just pouring them out. I'm hoping I can get them all out like this. Just turns me these always got to holding the water, the dye and the water inside them at the moment. So let me get these. I've got another old container here that I was going to possibly pour them into. If I could do that, but I'll just tip those in there. There's definitely a lot of dye left in there at the moment, so that was the right idea. And I managed to drip some dye in. Let me just get rid of that. Yeah, you really need to be a little bit careful with this stuff. One thing I should have got that I haven't is some plastic gloves. I don't think I've got any old rubber ones or anything that I can wear to pick these pieces up. Can't pick the pieces up. There we go. I hear them rattling around, but obviously there's some quite small ones. I still think there's one. Since I might have to pour these out after all. It's been working too well for the last few small ones, unfortunately. I need to figure out a way of doing this without spilling it everywhere. Let's just get these pieces out of here to begin with. Get some absorbent paper down for them. I don't think that's going to be required. There's a definite purple tinge still to all the dye. The pieces don't look anything like purple, thankfully, so hopefully it's just the way the dye looks and not the pieces when they dry. I don't even know if I'm still on the camera frame, so I apologise if I'm not. I think I have still got some of me in. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this in the sink, I think. There's a bit of some, I would imagine. I'm going to put that over the drain, then hopefully I can't pour any down the drain, because that wouldn't be good, would it? Wasn't too bad, it turned out. Just wipe that down so it doesn't run anywhere. There were only 2 left in there as it happened, so I've got most of them out already. There's the last 2. Just count them. Got 3 of those. 1, 2. Ah, stuck together. I thought I had one missing there for a horrible moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's right. And 3 of those. Excellent. So yeah, that's about it for now. I'll show you what they look like once they've finished drying. Leave them drying now for 24 hours, and I'll show you what they look like after that. Alright then, so it's been a few days now. I left the pieces for 24 hours to dry off, and then I rinsed them thoroughly to get any excess dye off, and allow them another day to dry. They seem to be dry now. Excuse my thumb, by the way. I managed to slice it while peeling vegetables for my dinner tonight. Stupid that I was. Yeah, and I'm actually really happy with the results. Now they're not going to look quite as pale, I don't think. Sorry, quite as dark, I don't think, under these bright lights that I've got for filming here. But I think compared to my Shapeways dyed puddle that I've got, I'm actually really pleased with the results here. They've come out a very nice even black, and when it's not under really bright lights, it's a nice dark black as well. So I'm actually really pleased with this. So I'm looking forward to doing some more on the puddles that I've got coming on soon. So yeah, I'm very happy with the results of these. So I'll go away and put these together, and then I'll sticker them and show you the final results once that's done. But yeah, as I said, I'm very pleased with this. These look as good as, if not even better actually, than as the parts that Shapeways dyed for me on one of the puddles I bought. So yeah, I'm surprisingly happy. I wasn't sure how good it was going to turn out, but yeah, it's really nice. So I'll go away and get it assembled and stick it, and I'll show you some more once we've done that. Okay, so the triangle is now assembled and stickered, as you can see, and I think it looks fabulous. It looks so much better than it did before. None of those horrible dirty marks anymore, none of the dirty off-white colour, lovely clean even black, and I've actually got it tensioned a lot better now than it was before as well, so it's turning really smoothly as well, so that's an added bonus. So I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. I also did another puddle, my other David picture puddle at the same time, which is this one, which is a sunrise sunset puddle. I didn't record myself doing this, but I always had the intention of doing this one as well. Had a little bit of drama with this one. These large caps on the kind of equatorial vertices, I had to glue those on because it kept slipping off, and it was actually damaging my stickers. The stickers didn't stick enough to hold it in place, so I had them super glued in place, and I honestly forgot that I'd done it. So when I disassembled it, I couldn't get the caps off, and I kind of remembered that I'd done that. So I thought, well, what I'll do, I'll drop the entire core piece in the die and hope it works out okay, kind of thing. But as it turned out, that actually melted the super glue, so I could, when I was stirring it at one time, one of the caps came off, and I thought, that's okay. So I tried the others, and the other two were able to prise off at that point as well, so then I could completely disassemble it and die it properly. And yeah, so I've also got this, that one dyed and assembled as well, and yeah, again, it looks so much better than it did in the what was becoming dirty white plastic, and I'm really happy. And again, I've actually got this tension better than it was before, so this one is always going to be a little bit catchy because you've got lots of small pieces with sharp points that go to each other, but I've got it lubed and tensioned better, so it turns better than it did previously. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. So yeah, if you ever, I know it's unlikely that a lot of people are going to buy many Shapeways puzzles now, for this foreseeable future at least, which is unfortunate, but because of the recent price rises, that's the way it's going to be. But yeah, if you've got any doubts about giving this a try, all I would say is give it a go, because I found it incredibly easy and I've got really good results that I'm incredibly happy with. So yeah, give it a go if it's something that you want to try. If you've already got white ones that are starting to become dirty, then yeah, give this a shot. Alright then guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.